And like also part of this is because I suck at like reading signals, right? I just like completely suck at it. So you could be crying and I would not know if you're sad or happy or hungry. I just wouldn't. And that's just my mindset. So over communication for me, with respect to perfectionism, to manage those expectations is really important, and I would 100% recommend. All right, Balsam.
Um, I think, oh, let me compose myself. Okay, I think I've been grappling with this issue, like this imposter syndrome issue, a lot recently, just like with starting my new job. So I'm sorry if I keep bringing it up, but I think I have to be honest and say like I was really, I don't want to say lucky because I think saying you're lucky that you got this fuels the imposter syndrome situation. But I think a lot of what goes in my mind is there. I have so many amazing, smart classmates, like people who have done so many things, achieved so much more than me. Yet I'm the one who ended up working with a good company, and it's, something along the lines of what I wanted to work in the future. And like part of it is like you're so lucky, but part of me is like you're not as deserving as someone else would have of this opportunity because they worked hard. There's someone out there who worked harder than you, wanted this position more than you, and things like that. And I think also just being a girl in engineering, you also have the sense of like, oh well, they hired you because they needed to fill a quota of not having so many men in the workplace. I think that whole gender imbalance thing is a whole other situation, of course. But I'm just saying, like, you have all these issues that come into your mind, and like how I deal with it is saying like, like I interviewed for this position. They picked out my resume. The person who interviewed me pointed out the things that he liked about me in my resume, asked me about them, and by the end of the call told me, I'm looking forward to working with you. So just affirming to myself all the experiences that I've had, like, hey, you are deserving of this position, you are smart enough, you are good enough. Nobody's gonna pay you money or hire you just because they need to like fill a quota of having a girl in the workplace, or like, you know what I mean. So I think just like affirming myself consistently is super, super important, and just not letting negativity get to me at all. Yep.
I just want to say that, like, I've had like a supervising teacher, and he told me how 100% the only reason he was hired is because he's a male, right? He told me how, in the past, in teaching, the ratio of females to male in elementary school was very much female dominant, and the principal, when he was hiring him, it was him against like a bunch of other girls, and he told them, listen, like, there's no point of interviewing you because I need a male to fill the quota.
Mm-hmm.
Are you willing to accept it? So he was 100% hired just because he's a male. And right now, when I went up to him, he is considered one of the best teachers. Everyone respects him. He proved himself that he is not just the right person for the job, but the best person for the job, right? So just because they hired you because they think they need to fill quota for women doesn't mean you can't prove to them that you're an asset, and you can't prove to them that you are not just the best person, but there is no other person that could possibly fill your position.
Mm-hmm.
So just
To
something
kind
to
of
think
add
about.
on to that, so the place I'm working at right now, one of the core values is raise the bar on talent and diversity. But when you hear that, you fixate yourself on that diversity piece. But in reality, it's both talent and diversity. And more often than not, yes, companies do have quotas, but that's not to say they're sacrificing on talent. Rather, what they're doing is they're opening up the opportunities beyond what was traditionally considered appropriate to everyone else, to allow everyone now a playing field. So if you're brown, if you're black, if you wear a headscarf, if you're black and you wear a headscarf, that doesn't mean you are being given some sort of ridiculous advantage. It's that now you are starting the race at the same place as everyone else is. So that's just kind of the reality. And I don't think anyone should ever think that I only got this because of this. It's that, no, you got this because you were finally given the opportunity to race with everyone equally.